Listen. No, I mean it. That's the skill that most producers neglect. Listening. Let's run a little experiment. Listen to this song and tell me what you hear. This is what I heard. I heard a pretty simple kick with an offbeat style bass. There's also some 808 toms that are grooving off of that. All of these are sitting in mono, so the rest of the percussion hats and shakers has their outlines. So what did you hear? The answers to a lot of your production problems lie in the songs you listen to all day, every day. And by learning how to listen, which sounds ridiculous, you can make better music. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to make better music? Well, Moose doesn't really care. Let me show you some listening tricks which we're going to break down into 4 categories. And this first one solves a major problem we run into during the production process. What am I missing? Do I even have enough layers? If this problem sounds familiar, let me help you out. Go find 3 songs in your genre and guess what we're gonna do? Listen. Skip to the section in the song that you're struggling with. In this case, let's say it's my drop. I'm gonna write down every single element I hear in the first song's drop. For example, this might mean kick, bass, clap, open hat, closed hat, shaker, tom, there's a lead, there's atmospheric pads. You get the point. Now do the same thing for song 2, do the same thing for song 3. Now look at everything you wrote down for all 3 songs. Circle any sound that appears in all 3 drops. These sounds are usually pretty important for that genre. They're fundamental if all 3 songs are using them. So you should probably check your own production and make sure you're not missing any of those circled sounds. I forgot a kick. Odds are your track's gonna sound way off if you're missing one of these. Now, anything that wasn't circled on this list, well, you could use them too. Think of these as more inspiration or creative additions. They may not be as important or fundamental as those circled sounds, but hey, it gives you some things to try that you probably wouldn't have thought of. And if you're a beginner, I recommend doing this exercise for every single song you work on. Moving on to the second trick on our list, this one solves your mixdown problems. You can listen to understand what a good mix sounds like. Sounds obvious, right? Good, because it is. If I play my song and these references in real time back to back, we can learn a lot. The differences become pretty obvious. Using this plugin Metric AB, I've matched the perceived loudness of the reference tracks to my own. This way there's no real difference in volume. The difference we're hearing is the balance and quality of the mix. So what is it exactly that you want to listen for? Let's start by listening to the elements that are loudest. Is it the lead synths? Is it the drums? Is it a vocal? Even though this varies by genre and even song by song, I can notice trends and start to get an idea of which elements should be mixed louder and up front in my mix. The next thing I could do is listen by frequency band. I can focus on the lows, mids, and highs and compare them to my own song. Then I ask myself, what do I notice? Do I hear similarities with these 3 bands? Or am I missing something in my own mix? Here's a special bonus hack. If your high end is always harsh, sloppy, noisy, and unbearable, try this. Isolate the high band, which means eliminate everything below 10K. Listen to all your reference tracks and notice which group or elements are sitting in this space. Because great mixes usually leave the high end for one instrument group. The drums, the synths. It's rare you'll hear multiple groups sitting 10K plus. And the reason is, it sounds like shit. High-end frequency is essentially just noise. It's not tonal. This makes it very hard for the ear to separate multiple instruments overlapping in this space. It's just noise on top of noise. Imagine you have your drums. And then you have your synths. All playing at the same time. Yep. It sounds like shit. If you're in a more house-driven genre, you'll probably notice the drums are sitting up high. So in this case, don't choose noisy-sounding synths. They're just gonna get in the way of the drums. On the flip side, if you're making dubstep or future bass, typically their synths are what's sitting 10K plus. So in this case, don't choose noisy drums. Choose more tonal drums. This approach is life-saving. Nah, probably not, but mix-saving, yes. While we're here, let's talk about one more mixing tip. You can listen and make notes of where the sounds are sitting in the stereo field. This could be helpful if you notice notice multiple songs are placing the same sounds in the same parts of their mix. For example, you might notice mono and narrow versus stereo and wide, or you might even notice sounds sitting left or right. Another massive stereo field issue is that the like button on this video is getting in the way of your vocal. That's a big problem because you need the vocal to shine. So hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and there you have it. Now your vocal's sitting perfect in the mix. On to the third item of our list. Arrangement is a huge problem and reason your songs are not getting streamed, signed, or supported. I like to think of arrangement as storytelling. Do you have that one friend who starts to tell a story and you have to brace yourself because you know for the next 10 minutes you're trapped? They're gonna bore you just talking in circles until you catch yourself drooling right before you fall asleep. Huh? No? Am I the only drooler here? Please someone just leave a comment and let me know that you drool too. It'll make me feel better. Thank you. Some people suck at storytelling, but in many cases, the experience they were trying to explain to you was actually incredible. It's just the way they went about explaining it to you. Well, that sucked. You might have an incredible idea, but what matters is how you tell that story, how you present that idea over time, the arrangement. Listening to other songs can teach you a lot on how to structure your ideas and keep them fresh for 4 minutes. Here's what I would recommend. Think of the songs you listen to the most. For example, in a given day, you listen to a lot of music, but in most cases, you'll listen to a song once and you're done with it. You don't come back to it. But there are a handful of songs that you will listen to multiple times in a day. Why? Because you weren't satisfied after that one listen. They left you wanting more. These are the songs you want to study. So let's take one of these songs, drag it into your DAW, and start to mark off the bar counts of their major sections. This will start to give you the framework and rough skeleton of how the song was arranged. You could see where the breakdowns were, where the drops are, and more importantly, just how long these sections last. Because listeners want change. Using other tried and tested quality songs is literally a cheat code for your own music. It makes you a better storyteller. Quickly while we're here, let's give one bonus tip, and this is called the list of cool shit. As you listen to other songs, keep a note in your phone or on your computer, and this is literally just gonna be a list of cool shit you hear in other songs. So maybe you notice they do like a cool kick stutter in the middle of the drop, or you notice there's a dope clap fill, or it sounded like a spaceship was whizzing by in some transition. I would write alien spaceship flying by, and I would know what that means, and that's all that matters. Because the next time I'm in a project, I can go to this list and be inspired by all the cool shit that's on there. Okay, the fourth item on our list. This is gonna solve your writing problems. We just went over arrangement and how this is the execution of a great idea. Key word though, great idea. Well, how do you write one? I want to help you because there is a trick to writing great songs. Meet me in the next video where I'm going to show you the exact steps to writing better music. With a few small tweaks, you can consistently turn out some of the best music you've ever written. Tap the video on screen and let's go.